talk by Mr. Sridharan. Today, it's all about financial scams. Financial scams are evolving, so we're going to talk about that. And could your retirement wealth be the next target? Sounds super interesting, right? Yeah, next slide, please. So the key takeaways from today's class would be recognizing fraud, where you understand the latest financial scam techniques, including pyramid schemes, unregulated investments, and fake financial advisors. Very important. Regulated investments, where you explore the investment opportunities in regulated mutual funds that are a reliable and transparent way to grow and protect your retirement savings. Evaluating opportunities, where you can gain practical tips for assessing investment offers with a focus on due diligence and compliance with regulations. Risk mitigation, learn how diversification and financial literacy act as shield against potential fraud. Action plan. Now, what steps you are supposed to take immediately if you suspect you've been approached by a scammer or made a risky investment. So please be prepared to listen carefully. And if you have any questions, put it on the chat and we will take up all your questions. Now, before that, for people who have joined new here, let me tell you a little bit about Get Set Up. We are on a mission to help those over 55 to learn new skills, connect with others, and also unlock new life experiences. Our goal here is to reduce isolation, loneliness, and also equip all of you with tools and knowledge to age independently. Our community engages in classes online as well as offline as well. We also travel together and we also do short day trips as well. Okay, now about Franklin Templeton. Franklin Templeton is one of the largest asset managers globally with over 76 years of experience and currently managing assets globally to the tune of USD 1.65 trillion as of November 30th, 2024. It has been part of the Indian mutual funds industry for over 28 years. Franklin Templeton India offers a diversified bouquet of products spanning equity, debt, hybrid, and international funds, which may help the investors to meet their financial goals. They have a rich history of being pioneers in many ways, like introducing the concept of SIP, which is the systematic investment plan in the Indian mutual fund industry. Their global parentage and local market expertise position them uniquely in delivering value to investors. Now, let me introduce Mr. Sridharan. I'm sure all of you here, most of you must be knowing him because he's taken several classes for us before as well. Mr. Sridharan is a recipient of Associate Financial Planner title for retirement planning and employee benefits from the Financial Planning Standard Board. He's an active contributor on personal finance magazines like Money Control, Financial Express, Times of India, UTI Swatantra, Nayam Vikatan, etc. Well, he's also worked with Funds India, Quantum, Allegro Capital. He has 15 years as independent financial advisor. He has worked for 15 years. He has also conducted regular sessions on retirement planning across all major PSU banks, which include IOB, BOI, Indian Bank, Canara Bank, etc. So a super qualified person to be taking today's session. So please be ready with your questions if you have. And we'll also be asking some questions on the chat. So keep a note on the chat as we go along. Handing it over to Mr. Sridharan.
Thank you. Thank you for your introduction, Anita. Can we move on to the next slide? So basically, to understanding financial scam techniques, see, that is what the topic that we are going to talk about today. See, when we are talking about making money, so now actually, making money is actually difficult, and saving money is the second most difficult part in the world. And third thing that has come in recently, not I wouldn't say recently, but actually, speaking in the recent times, the financial scams are actually coming with a different skin in the this one, game, and they are actually, creating a lot of hassle for the investors and the common man. So the common, techniques and the well-known schemes are basically, the pyramid schemes is something where every individual might be aware of. The basic problem is why these schemes are coming up is basically every individual wanted to make money, and also they wanted to make more money by doing something else. So they wanted more returns. So the returns is where actually, is the criteria with which all this, the pyramid schemes are coming. What is pyramid schemes? Pyramid schemes are basically, they will be approaching you to invest in their products, and they ensure that they give a higher returns, not only registering in their product but also recruiting new members. So recruiting new members, you will be receiving some incentives. For example, there were schemes which were running in most of the the places where they will promise you, when you invest, let's say about 1 lakh rupees, you will be getting 10,000 rupees monthly returns. So 10,000 rupees monthly returns on an annualized basis, they are paying you 120%, which is definitely impossible for any business to provide 120% return in a year. So this is actually, they will not stop with this. They will tell you that you need to bring in more people, and when they bring in more people, they will get about 2% commission more than what they are getting. So this is how actually they will ensure that you bring in more people, and how the fight is being created is what something which is very peculiar. What they do is they will actually create 100 member team, and then they will probably collect money from individual investors and ensure that they give back the money to those investors to create a kind of a huge network. So when 100 people are talking about they got the returns, that is actually is where they are creating the trust factor. So basically, when we are investing money, one is that we need to ensure that the trust factor is being created. So the trust factor is basically being created by the pyramid schemes, because they are recruiting new members. The new members' money will be given as a return to the existing investors. So from they are not going to get the original money back, because they are going to get the returns only, because they are getting about 10% return or 8% return. That is where actually these financial scam, this is one kind of a financial scam, because this is a very well known trusted pyramid schemes are basically being created, and they populate and they make money out of the pyramid schemes. And second is basically, a lot of unregulated products. So what is regulated products and what is unregulated products? We have to categorize, what is regulated and what is unregulated. So the regulated products have some regulator. Even in the regulated product itself, a lot of scams that are happening, because that is being regulated by the regulatory body, so that they will have at least some control on it. For example, so RBI is actually is regulating all the banking and non-banking financial products. So when we are investing in the regulated products like fixed deposits or something, so we need to ensure that whether it is regulated by RBI. For example, SEBI is actually regulating all the other financial products in the market, be it the equity market or a debt market. Or these markets are basically being regulated by SEBI. Even the listing of securities have to be done by the permission with the SEBI. So basically, we need to understand whether it is being regulated by SEBI. And if you look at the insurance schemes are basically being regulated by IRDA. This is one regulator. And again, there is another regulator which is basically PFRDA. They will be regulating all the pension products. So we need to understand whether these products are coming from the regulator or not coming from the regulator. So that is actually is something that we need to ensure that whether it is being regulated or not. what we are doing is, we are investing in products where our relatives or our neighbors or our friends who are basically, got some benefit. Based on their reference only, we will be buying the product instead of we do the due diligence. That is why the financial scams are basically happening in the market. And the third thing that could probably happen is fake financial advisors. If you look at, if you are basically reading the newspapers in the recent times, even the banks, even the banks, they called as, so-called financial advisors, and then they are trying to basically cheat the customers. So that is also to that level also, the financial scams are happening. What you need to do is you need to ensure that you need to have a legitimate professionals, and you need to check their background. You need to check their qualification and their certification and their credentials. These things actually you need to certify, you need to verify, and based on that you need to take the investment decisions. Now these are all something which is happening in the market. Basically, this come to know in the limelight only at a later point in time. Now the recent trend, the recent scams that are happening in the markets are plenty. So these schemes, I will just categorize this into two. One is actually, this pyramid schemes and unregulated schemes are basically being offered attract the rural and the poor population, where they have very limited resource of making money, because they are the one who wanted to grow up in their their financial ladder. On the other side, there are rich people. Now actually, the recent trends are basically targeting the rich people in the sense, they will always target about, you have a parcel which is actually being delivered wrongly, or you they may be calling you and then say that your KYC is not up to date. How these things are happening is the the data leakage is very huge in India. If they get the order details or any other details, wherever we go, we just fill up our details, like your name, email ID, and mobile number is something where it is it is even if you go to any shop for the matter, you know you are supposed to fill the data. You're supposed to give the data like your name, email ID, and mobile number. These are the three things which are basically linked to everything. All your financial documents, without your email ID and mobile number, you are not filling any documents, any financial documents for that matter. So this is where the data leakage is happening. With that, actually, they are trying to provoke some details to ensure that they make the financial scam. So how these guys are approaching is basically they will call you and say that you are digitally arrested. So there is nothing called digital arrest in the country. There is no court of law saying that they can arrest digitally. So these things actually we were not aware of, and we are basically fall into their prey. One is the digital arrest scam that is going on everywhere, and then looting money, and they ensure that you are basically being isolated, and then they ask you to come into the video call. The video call might be a WhatsApp call or a Skype call, through which they have a background setup like a police station, and the kind of the customs setup, and they ensure that they create a fear in you, and then try to loot money from you. That is one technique where they will ensure that nobody is there in front of you. That is how actually they will ensure that you are being isolated, and then they ask you a question with which you might be answering something by default. So when these kind of situation comes in, you just have to, assuming you just got into their calls, and then something happens, immediately disconnect your internet and immediately call up your the helpline number 1903. So 1903 is something where you need to get registered in your mind and registered in your subconscious, and to ensure that you just call that number and inform them. So that is something that we need to be little proactive. There actually we are getting into fear, and then that fear factor comes in. That is actually is the key success for the scammers basically. And secondly, there are KYC details are basically being fraudulently entered, and you need to update your PAN card. You need to update. No bankers will send a message, send a give you a call to do all these things online. If at all, if you have if at all, basically, if you are getting across these messages, immediately what you need to do is you need to dial up your bank or visit your bank and ensure that you are not basically being cheated. Don't give your OTP, don't give your PAN card, don't give your Aadhaar card to any the scammers that are calling you over the phone for updating the KYC or bank details or anything. So that is another the latest financial scams that are happening. And the third, I would say, the fake duping the Facebook ID and duping the the other IDs, and then they are trying to create another fake ID in the Facebook, and then claiming that they are in some urgency and then they need some money. So here also, if you are basically a victim or you are basically coming across this, what you need to do is you need to immediately inform all your friend circle, and then you need to this fraud is happening through Facebook. You need to immediately inform to the Facebook, and you'll have to stop this activity. One. Second is, whenever you come across this, some of your friends are basically sending a messenger saying that I'm in urgent, you need to transfer this money. Immediately call up that person and then ask whether he is in serious issue or not. Because what is happening is, normally we don't call that person since they are in urgent, they are something in urgent. So we keep sending money without even calling them and cross checking. So this is something, this again has happened to few of my clients. And also I've been educating my clients to ensure that they call the respective person and ask them whether they are in real need of a help or not. So these are some, the fraudulent activities that are happening, and then you get a message saying that your courier has been delivered wrongly, or your if you just dial that number, unless and until you are sure about that, again, here what you need to do is you will have to ensure that you track that courier number. If it is coming genuine, then you will be able to track from their system. But there are fake, the fake, what do you call, the website address also they are providing and then trying to cheat. But go to the original website and then track the ID. If there is no parcel, you need not have to really worry about it. So the problem is, half of the problem is with us only, because what we do is we get tense because what is coming. We are so eager, we are so anxiety to know about what it is, what is coming in. So that is what actually is the prey for the scammers. So if you avoid these things, it'll be you're literally ready for making up all the scams that are happening. You can avoid all these scams. Next slide, please. So you all know about the Ponzi scheme. The Ponzi scheme is basically, they will loot money from the investors. So basically, how they react is basically, they will be making money using whatever the accumulation of money that they have collected. Initially, what they do is they will pay only the interest from the earlier investors. You might be aware of, the lot of the famous, the schemes that has happened, the Sarada, or maybe your even if you look at Sahara, Ponzi scheme. All these things actually, are created actually, created to ensure that they loot the money. See, even the latest scam that I am talking about, this is actually, they may call you and say that, you are digitally arrested. They are not operating from India. They are operating from Taiwan. They are operating from other countries. But they have thousands and thousands of people in India who are helping them, looting the money. And the money that they have looted is not small money. It is almost like 5,000 crores of Indian rupees have been cheated by the scammers by individuals. What they do is they will try to take the money out from your bank account. They immediately transfer. After that, slow and steadily, if your fear is more, then they will start liquidating your all the other financial assets. See, for example, if you have let's say about 5 lakhs in bank, they will first and foremost remove the 5 lakhs, and then they will keep you on the loop, ensure that what are all the other assets you have. They threat you literally saying that you will be on the road tomorrow if you don't reveal your financial assets. So we will bound to reveal the financial assets. So when we keep revealing the financial assets, they will ask you to liquidate immediately, and they will probably the calls will be again happening after 2 days. After you liquidate the financial assets, they will ask you to transfer. Even you can't trace where the money is going out. I'm telling you. See, even the CBIs are not able to trace out the money where it is going into. So here, what is happening is, they are also having a tie-up with the banker. They are also having a tie-up with other country, banks, and then they transfer money immediately without even, without even, let's say about even the CBI or any police officers knows about. So this is something that is happening, and then the phishing attack. So the phishing attack is something where you need to be very careful. It might look like you are getting the mail from the respective authority or respective banks or respective this one. But if you go look at it, there could be a small spelling mistake might be there in the website. So you will have to ensure that that's not moving into the right website. See, for example, there is I can pretty much name it because this is being a bigger bank. See, HDFC Bank. So HDFC Bank website is hdfcbank.com. Somebody claimed that HDBC Bank. So you don't look at whether it is the what do you call, the message would have come from HDFC Bank, but inside, if you look at it, it is not HDFC, it is HDBC.com. So we just go enter and all our details. It looks like similar. They viewed the website. It looks like similar, and then you keep entering your data, and then you lose your money. So you need to ensure that when you are, because the online frauds are the maximum. Again, I'll tell you one more. The latest the common financial scams that are happening is basically everybody is known about what do you call the kite app, the what do you call the Zerodha's app. So in Zerodha, there are famous, investment players like Motilal Oswal or some fund managers like Motilal Oswal or Kotak or some this one. So they say that you will receive a message saying that even though you are financially kind of a little educated person, you fall prey for the highest return scheme. If they are announcing we are going to reveal some new scheme that is going to be launched tomorrow, which is going to provide you, immediate 25% return. I would say, how many of you in this group itself might be interested? Yes, most of you will be interested because you are going to get 20% return within a week time. So that is how actually they duped the top personalities, top financial market personalities in India, and they created a similar application, a small mobile application that they have created. And once you do the investment, you will be receiving the same credits. Assuming they are asking you to invest 1 lakh, and then on the screen you making the payment that goes into their bank, and you will also get allotment. It shows that you have 1 lakh of rupees invested. The present value is 1,20,000. So since you have got 1,20,000 rupees, you are basically, your trust factor is basically being won by the looters. The next time what they do is, since you have already got 1 lakh invested and then 1,20,000, 20% return within a week, immediately another WhatsApp message will come saying that add additional 10 lakhs, you get 15 lakhs. You will be adding another 10 lakhs. You will get another 15 lakhs also. So your dashboard shows 15 lakhs of net worth you have. But end of the day, if you are trying to withdraw the money, you will not be able to withdraw the money. This is how the new scams that are happening. Another phishing attack that is happening is basically, since most of you are in the kind of some of you are in the retirement stage where you might be having time, wanted to spend time wisely, or wanted to do something to make money, then you are the the persons who are basically the target for the scammers. So what they do is they will be giving you a kind of a part-time job where you need to do the review of the website, do the review of the this one, and then you will start getting money. So what they do is immediately to you will be getting the credit. So they will say, you got the credit of 8,000 rupees. To get this 8,000 rupees, you have to pay. You have to pay 4,000 rupees. You will pay 4,000 rupees. You will get first 8,000 rupees also back. Then only see, basically the first time, yes, it will happen. But after that, since the trust factor is being created, they will again say, this time you got 20,000 rupees credit, you have to pay 10,000. You will pay 10,000, you get 20,000. But after some point in time, you know you might be having 2 lakhs in your credit. If you then they will ask you to pay 1 lakh or 1,50,000. Since you are basically being trusting these people, you will be paying that money. After that, the entire connection will get disconnected. So these are the recent latest, that is fraudulent, that is basically being targeted middle income people and higher income people and HNIs and ultra HNIs. This is where actually is basically being, people are getting scammed by the scammers. So you need to be very careful. And third is this cryptocurrencies. This is actually something where everybody is interested in cryptocurrencies, and nobody knows where to buy, and it is not being regulated. And there are fake cryptocurrencies are basically there in the market. This is basically a website where you just have to invest, and then you will be allocated some kind of a cryptocurrencies, which will basically move in their values. So this is again the financial scam that is happening through online, because cryptocurrencies, there is no physical currencies that are available. You just have to pay money, and whether there is upside or downside, whatever the movement that are happening, you just have to see it. It is all happening only when you are trying to exit from these the financial market instruments that are basically showing online. Unless and until you get some physical certificate, physical documents which are basically coming from the respective institution, it is all fake only. Even some of the physical instrument, like all these Ponzi schemes are giving, it doesn't have validity because it is not being regulated. So these are the the financial scams that are happening, you need to be little, you know, basically aware of what is happening. Move on to the next slide. So this real world examples of these financial scams, most of you know about this Rose Valley scam where they collected almost like 17,000 crore from the investors through illegal schemes. And then there's a Bitcoin scheme. Again, 1 lakh crore with fake cryptocurrencies has been defrauded, which is, see, when the fraudulent things are happening, it comes to know in the limelight only after some point in time, because the full episode has to happen. Till such time everything looks good. Even the Rose Valley scheme, initial point in time everything was good. Everybody was basically being paid by the company, and then they were all happy, and then they started promoting to their friends and then their families, and then the entire network. Why this is happening? Because if you look at these Rose Valley schemes or Sarada Group scandal, these are happened in Eastern India, and it is not only happening in Eastern India, but the starting point is East India, but it has spread across all the other countries as well. Yeah, so this is actually where the common man in India. So basically, there are 70 to 80% of the people in India are below poverty line, where they are making money in a hard-earned way, and especially the farmers, they are actually making money, and they believe in only the banking system, but they are still, since they are not known about the banking system, they are actually started believing their other way of making money. That is where actually their financial literacy is very poor. That is where actually these people are basically being scammed by these scammers. These are the very big scams that has happened in India. Sarda Group scandal, or your Gain Bitcoin. Gain Bitcoin is the recent, the episode that has happened. He's just a 20-year-old guy who is actually, created an online Bitcoin website. This is actually, they have created a blockchain system with which he scammed almost like, 1 lakh crore. The 1 lakh crore investors have been scammed. Even 1 lakh crore investor, they if they would have invested, let's say about 1,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, so huge money that's basically being wiped out of the system. Next slide. So the anatomy of phishing attack. So as I explained you earlier, you will be getting a deceptive message. It urges you to take action. So it urges you to take action. You need not have to act on it immediately before you verify it. So basically, claiming it is coming from the bank, it is coming from income tax authority, or it is coming from, the what do you call, the CBA or customs. This is how actually, it shows. Once it comes from income tax authority or any authority, you will be immediately you will be worried, and then you try to take action, because they would say your even SBI, it comes as your bank account will be freezed if you don't click on this message, if you don't provide your PAN number. Click this, click this the URL. So once you click on the URL, immediately one thing, what could happen is they will probably could have set up the entire thing. Your money will be looted from SBI, and you will also get a call from from anonymous call saying that I'm calling from bank. If you ask them which bank, they will not say. So they will say they are calling from bank. If you say yes, then they will ask you all the details, and then you will be looted. Next is, there are a lot of malicious links that are coming from the banking website. The banking website will be there, but if you click on it, it is redirected to a different website, and then you are basically being you're basically being targeted as a targeted by the scammer. And data theft is actually, is happening everywhere, because as I told you earlier, you will be giving, you are giving your name, email ID, and mobile number anonymously across all the malls, all the shops, wherever we are visiting, wherever even we go as a visitor, we are supposed to provide our details. These are all the places where the data theft is happening. And also, the data theft that is happening from the website also. See, even there are a lot of, threat for the bankers and other website, where they maliciously, they just got into their website and then pull data. So you need to be little more careful about this phishing attack as well. So anything that you are going to do, ensure that you are into the right website. You check the website once or twice. Also check the spelling. Also check whether there is a lock. The lock means this is a HTTPS website. HTTPS is basically a secured website. If there is HTTP, don't even enter into those websites. Next. And this is red flags to watch out for. See, some messages seems to be very panic. See, when you are looking at your WhatsApp, or not WhatsApp, your normal messages, or your when you are getting emails, it shows, with an urgent action. So immediate action, if it is happening, don't be so panic. You just sit, relax, look at the website, look at from where it is coming in, and it is always better to directly connect with them instead of doing everything online, because most of the scams are happening only online. So you need to ensure that you are aware of what is happening, and you need to be ensure that you are contacting the right person to solve the issue. And unusual request, asking for sensitive no, never ever give OTP to, you know any of the unknown people who are seeking for your OTP. And also don't give full card, your credit card details or debit card details. Don't give your credit card details, and then they will ask for the what do you call, there is a 3-digit number that is at the backside of the website, backside of the card. If you give that, your entire card will be swiped in a second. So don't ever give the 3-digit number that is printed at the backside of the card. And there are suspicious links where it looks like similar to the website, but it is not similar. So I have come across, yeah, that is CVV number. Somebody has mentioned. Yes, right. The CVV number should not be given anyone. And the website, as I told you, the logo and your this one. See, basically, we are all if we are good English reader, then one letter or two letter. Even if you when I am typing messages, if I miss if I miss S and E, doesn't mean actually, but we will be able to read. That is actually the human psychology, because we are all good at reading English. Even one letter, two letter, if it is missing, we will be able to complete the sentence. There is an exercise also in English where, if even if few of the letters are missing in a word and in a complete sentence, you will be able to read the complete sentence without even looking at the letters that are missing. So that is where actually, we developed our English knowledge. But the same thing should not be applied when it is coming to this suspicious URL. When the URL, when we are talking about HDFC, it is HDBC. We will not look at, because we look at the logo, we look at .com and restaurant. It is all usual. Nothing is unusual, because we will all have a habit of getting into some regular website, whatever the banking website that you are going in. You need to ensure that you are getting into the right website. Assuming even if there are some upgrades that are happening from the banking website, you need to call your relationship manager or you need to go and visit the bank branch, ensure that the bank has upgraded their website or not. That is also something that you need to do, because sometimes the banks also upgrade their softwares, but if you are not aware of, then also we are getting into troubles. So this is where actually you need to watch out for. Next next slide. So protecting yourself from phishing. So this is how actually you have to do. These are all the factors that I have already discussed. Verify independently, and then enable. No banks ask you to enter the OTP. Always, everywhere, the two-factor authentication is being enabled. Even if you give your mobile number or your email ID, when there is a data leakage or anything that's happening, now all systems are having superficial authorization in place. That is where actually you maybe they will ask you for the OTP is the one which will come to you, where you need to feed in the information to ensure that your authentication is being done. Next next So securing your investments, yes, of course, mutual funds are one of the most transparent, and also is being, you know, is being monitored by the fund managers, and also, it is being well regulated by SEBI. SEBI is the one which regulates the mutual fund industry, where you get to know where your investments are lying in. Even if you invest in mutual funds, they allocate units, and also you get to know, you get to know the details of where your investments are lying in. For example, even if you invest, let's say about 10,000 rupees in a scheme, let us say some equity scheme that we have invested in, large cap scheme that we have invested in. This 10,000 rupees, what is the underlying instrument? Whether this scheme has invested in HDFC Limited, or whether they have invested in SBI Limited or Infosys or Tata, how much percentage of your investment is being spread across these instruments? So to that level of transparency, and what is the expense ratio, how they are managing, whether they are declaring a dividend or not, what are they doing? All these things are more transparent, and these are all has to be reported to SEBI on a periodical basis. So that is where actually when it is coming to investments, always choose to invest in the well regulated products. And secondly, you're securing your investments, don't put all eggs in one basket. So that is where actually the diversification plays a vital role in terms of spreading your risk. So the diversification happens in mutual funds, through equity, through debt, and through gold. And even if you wanted to invest in a real estate investment trust or something, that also is a part of the mutual fund investments itself, will help you doing, and you know managing your risk by doing the diversification. And then there is a mechanism with which you will be able to monitor, track your investments online. So you will also be, well known about the market trends, whether to invest in large cap or mid cap or small cap. You need to get associated with an advisor to ensure that which, which is the market trend, which may do well, which category may do well. This information you will be able to get the help of the advisors that you are signed up with. Next. So evaluating investment opportunities, yes, you have to do a thorough research, investigate the company, and then look at its track record. It is not just the past performance alone is the criteria for providing you a better return in the future. So you'll have to look at various other parameters, like whether it is super efficient compared to the benchmark, whether it is giving a better standard, whether it is providing you a better risk adjusted return, what is the standard deviation in a volatile market, how these funds are performing, and who is the fund manager, what are their credential, and which company. Basically, there are companies where companies where they are just starting as a kind of a fashion for creating one more conglomerate in financial services. But there are companies where they are fundamentally they are strong enough in financial services, and then they wanted to promote only financial services. So you need to identify which company and their track records and their management. These things actually one has to evaluate before you invest in mutual funds. And secondly, you have to verify the credential. The advisor's credential has to be verified, whether they are a SEBI registered investment advisor or they are a AMFI registered, mutual fund distributor. So there are two types of advisors. One is actually MFD, where they are AMFI registered mutual fund distributor, there where they will be suggesting you schemes. And there are investment advisor who are basically registered with SEBI. They will be providing you the advice on various investment avenues that are available. You'll have to verify their credentials before you get invested in any of the scheme. And also, finally, you need to assess your risk. I'll give you an example. So, if you wanted to travel fast, you know, we always prefer to go with flight when you wanted to travel fast. But cycle might be going slow. But if you wanted to travel, let's say 1,500 kilometers, then you prefer to go by flight because that goes faster. But if you wanted to travel 2 kilometers, which is the most preferable mode of vehicle that you prefer, it is only bicycle. You cannot go by flight. So that way, risk assessment also, if it is short term, if it is short duration, then you will have to choose the investment product that will help you reach your financial goals. If it is long term, then you can probably accelerate your growth by investing in equity oriented scheme to ensure that your long term goals are basically being achieved. So that is how actually you need to evaluate your investment opportunities. Next. So again, risk mitigation strategies, as I told you, spread your investments across different asset classes, because this actually we have discussed a lot. Equity, debt, gold, and real estate. These are the four major asset classes available. You have to diversify your risk among the asset classes to ensure that you get a better return over a long period. And you need to be kind of a better informed investment decisions you need to take, because if you are actually is the one who is going to invest, the advisors are going to manage your money, and the investment managers are going to manage your money. So wherein you are the one who are going to get the maximum benefit, so your participation also is required in terms of managing your wealth. Next. So the action plan: immediately, if you suspect any scam, stop all transaction and completely, disconnect from all your this one, and also, intimate to the reporting authorities. And if it is a credit card transaction, you immediately, stop the credit card. Deactivate the credit card. If it is debit card, deactivate the debit card, and immediately, whatever has happened, document everything, and then you can probably file a complaint to the respective authority. With this, I stop. If you have any question and answer, I am ready to answer.
There are some questions on the chat, Mr. Sridharan. Let me just
Yeah.
check that.
Yes.
Yeah, digital arrest scams are mentioned in media all the time, yet people fall for them. Yeah, okay, that's a statement. Okay, people used to get call in WhatsApp and sending the market updates. How shall we avoid this kind of calls?
People are sending.
people used to get calls on WhatsApp
Hmm.
sending the market updates. So how can we avoid such calls? She's asking. Guess you just need to block them.
See, you just have to block it.
Yeah.
So
For
don't see
yeah.
lots of WhatsApp groups are basically being created, and you are basically being included in one of the WhatsApp group. See, for this, what you need to do is you can change your WhatsApp setting, saying that anonymous WhatsApp groups may not be invited. Any group that they wanted to add in you as a member, you will always be invited for. So there is a setting that is available in the WhatsApp that you can probably check with your WhatsApp setting.
Yeah. For Netflix subscription online in India, CVV of your card is compulsory. How do we avoid that?
Nowadays, actually, the Nash mandate or your Google mandate also is acceptable by Netflix. So that's something that you can sign up for.
Yes, I think that answers. Please post your questions on the chat. Anyone else has any questions? Just raise your hand otherwise. We're going to start a question answer giveaway at 6 o'clock. So we have 5 minutes more. If you have any questions, please post it on the chat or raise your hand and we can take your question. Any questions, doubts, anything at all?
And
Yes.
Anurag, can you
How's
share the screen? Mrs. Biani wants to see the last screen.
how
I'll
safe
have to.
is Google Pay? Mrs.
pardon?
Hello.
How safe is Google Pay?
Google Pay, yes, they are as of now. There is no such claims that has come from Google Pay because the Google Pay is so far is secure. Nobody has actually find a way to hack Google Pay so far. But we may not.
Yeah. Um, any other questions?
Yes, can I ask Anita a
Go ahead.
question?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
See, sometimes I got on a WhatsApp message, urgent, urgent. Please help me. Please, can you help me? Obviously, immediately my reaction was to ask the person what help, but I realized no, this is going on now on WhatsApp. Asking for help. Then I thought I'll call that person, but then again I realized maybe that person's phone is hacked because another person had this similar problem. The whole phone was hacked. The WhatsApp was accessed. The calls were accessed by the scammer. So I does that happen? Like if somebody is asking for help, we can't even call, no, because the phone is hacked anyway by the scammer.
We cannot do anything. See, well, only thing is we need to save ourselves first before we help others.
Correct.
So even in the flight,
Yeah.
before you give the oxygen mask to others, you need to inhale the oxygen mask. You need to wear the oxygen mask. Then only you will be able to wear the oxygen mask for others. So in such cases, if they are helpless, we are helpless.
Yes. No,
At
because
least
even if
that goes.
yeah, because even if they call now with the AI, we have come to know now, we have been warned that the voice also is been replicated like our voice, as if
Voice
we
is
have
voice is morphed, and then the
picture.
image also is morphed.
Yes.
Unless and until, see, there are only few ways. One is actually their phone and other things are hacked, but you can call them on other phone or
From
alternate
other
numbers
phone.
or anything. You need to just ensure that it is
Genuine.
basically being, yeah, the
And
genuinity is basically being checked by seeking their friends. Basically, if you know them, definitely you know one of their friend also or their family
yeah,
member.
yeah,
You need to
yeah,
call them and
yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah. Any other somebody's put AI related scam, so I guess he's just mentioned it. Any other questions? Anyone? Abhijit, would you like to put the question answer thing now?
Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. So we'll start with the giveaway. We'll give three Amazon vouchers to individual people worth 1,000 rupees each. I'm posting the question in the chat box. Please make sure you post the answer within 5 minutes. Also, if you have came from a partner like
Take too
Dignity,
long, no? Are you going to wait for 5 minutes?
yeah, we'll wait for 5 minutes.
Okay, fine.
I'm posting the question in the chat box. Till
Yeah.
then, we have one question from Miss Vijay Lakshmi.
Yeah. You can post the question. Everybody answer it because you are stand to win a prize. Okay. So in the meantime, how to avoid, one second, how to avoid getting your WhatsApp or our contact number from getting hacked?
How to?
How to avoid getting your WhatsApp hacked? I mean, how to avoid?
We don't have the answer for it because we are not technical person. So that is something that I'm not come across.
Yeah. So Vijay Lakshmi, you wanted to ask something? Vijay Lakshmi, I see. Can I ask? Yeah, you want to ask something?
Can I tell?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Hello, this is my first session with Get Set Up. Okay. What I
Okay.
want to ask is like sometime back now, one of my friends call phone number. Someone had called ki, she wants some financial help and all. But as I knew, like she's
Right.
very affluent family, I disconnected the
Hmm.
call and after some time I rechecked. So how to avoid like
Hmm.
someone use the same thing from my number and ask someone else, ki, okay, I want financial help.
See, that is where actually we are educating. Basically, unless and until everyone should be aware of what is happening. It is very difficult. People gets cheated, and it keeps happening unless and until they are aware of what is happening across. Even somebody can hack your mobile and then maybe talk to other people and then seek for money, but you might not be aware of. We will
Can
not
I
be
have
able to.
I mean, some settings like you said in WhatsApp, I just went and saw regarding the setting and I have set a
Right.
setting. So accordingly, can I have everyone should be like that, our number should be protected from getting hacked and also how can we do that?
I see now mobile hacking is not happening. See, basically, if you look at, there are no two SIM card available for a same mobile.
Okay.
So earlier, actually, when there was 2G and 3G, there actually, they were these things are happening. Now they might be calling from, the different number through which only they will be able to do all these things. See, when it is coming to WhatsApp, even assuming, you saved your friend's number, something, and name as some XYZ.
Hmm.
But if you are receiving call from XYZ in a different number, you only look at the name, not the number.
Hmm.
That is where actually, the mistakes are happening.
Hmm. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, nobody remembers the number nowadays.
Right.
Even you don't know even your husband's number or your son's number or your daughter's
Number also. No, I remember my husband, but I don't
number.
remember.
Exactly. So earlier days, we used to, dial the number so that is there in our fingertip.
Right.
Nowadays, it is all swiping. So it's all swiping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very true. Very true. Okay, we've got some answers on the chat. Anyone else? Come
We
on, you
have
start getting a prize. Why don't you all go ahead and answer on the chat? What does OTP stand for and what is a full form of CVV? Go ahead.
we
Answer.
have 2 more minutes. Everyone can participate.
Yeah, go ahead. Abhijit, they have to answer both the questions, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you need to answer both the questions, please. OTP and CVV. We got another. Shall we give them another minute more?
Yes. Let's wait 1 more minute.
Yeah, 1 more minute, and then we'll close the
I have
session.
answered, but in two chats. Is it okay?
Yeah, it
Fine.
is okay. Yeah.
No worries.
Okay.
Please share your last screen that if we get some scam, then how to react,
Anurag, can you please stop recording and share the screen from Mrs. Biani?